Join us in the fight to restore liberty and American exceptionalism. Together, let's make the case that our charters of freedom are worth defending and honoring. Right here is where the great American experiment comes alive. Let's get to work.
Okay, Mr. Weisser, opening remarks.
To start, I'd like to note that when I was coming in the lobby a while ago, I saw a young man, probably a junior high age student, carrying a copy of his Constitution tucked up in his front pocket. I was quite moved by that. It's the same Constitution that I carry with me. I don't believe I had to pay $2 for it, so I really thank that young man for investing in our country to that degree. America's always been an image, forever redefining itself. We started out as a rebellious upstart. We were a quarreling confederacy, and we tried to form a more perfect union. Our history is a record of attempting to live up to the ideals of our founding fathers. Our government's forever evolving to more perfectly establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide a defense, and promote our general welfare. Basically, to secure our liberty. And towards that end, America has committed itself to a great social contract. The government does things that we cannot do as individuals, and in trade, our combined skills and resources of us as a people advance our common good and our common wealth. Now, the Constitution was created to empower the citizen, protect the individual, and check the power of the state. Tonight in this debate, we're going to discuss the limits of the authority of the government. The true meanings of phrases that we don't necessarily live up to as individuals, things like respecting due process and equal protection. Do we really intend to have a government that respects these things, even when it means that of necessity, occasionally, we're going to have to favor the one individual over another, or protect the rights of the minority against the opinion of the many? Now, I believe in a government that's supposed to stand for the betterment of the individual, and it advances our liberty because of its fidelity to the Constitution, and that's the positions that I believe I am taking tonight. Thank you.
Welcome. I want to thank the Conservative Business League for hosting this debate. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here tonight and to have you here with us. It was John Adams who said that liberty must be supported at all hazards. Think about that for a moment. Liberty must be supported at all hazards, even when it's unpopular. We stand in the face of tyranny in order to uphold liberty. We live in a country that is unique. We live in a country that is unlike anything the world has ever seen. We have the oldest Constitution in the world, and for good reason. The Declaration of Independence is the why. The Constitution is the how. You remove the Declaration of Independence, and the Constitution now becomes anything that you want it to become. The Declaration of Independence defends and asserts things like we are endowed by our Creator with unalienable rights. And what would those unalienable rights be? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And tonight we're going to talk about a number of different issues. But we're going to spend a lot of time talking about equality under the law. Because if our Declaration is going to mean anything, we have to uphold this principle of equality under the law. We're going to talk about affirmative action tonight. I stand in strong opposition to affirmative action for a number of reasons. First and foremost, the Constitution does not condone this sort of activity. It does not allow for preferential treatment. It provides for equality of treatment. That is, the government cannot choose who it will protect and who it will harass. It must apply the law equally across the board. And affirmative action in America today is an appalling affirmation that racism still exists. Not from the individuals who oppose it, but for those who would advocate it. It's absurd that in fact racism continues to be moved along by those who would support affirmative action. And then abortion. We're going to talk about abortion. I am pro-life. And the fact that we're dealing with this issue for over 40 years now is a sad state that life is no longer to be protected. We live in a culture of death. And my arguments that I'm going to be making tonight will certainly affirm the idea that not only does freedom require that in fact life is to be defended, but also the Constitution. The death penalty. I'm an advocate of the death penalty. There are some crimes that are so grotesque, so vile, that the only appropriate punishment is death. Not only do I stand behind that morally, I stand behind that because the Constitution is the document that affirms the death penalty, that in fact there are those crimes where death penalty is important. Finally, we're going to talk about Miranda. I'm an individual that stands in opposition of Miranda. That is, when an individual is taken into custody, that law enforcement should not have to inform him of his right to remain silent. Why? Because the Constitution does not require it. While it may be good policy, tonight we're talking about the Constitution. Policy versus rule of law. Liberty must be supported at all hazards. Again, even when it's unpopular. Thank you.